Hi guys, so my last video you'd have seen me painting up these lovely little miniatures. There's some knights from a game called Baron's War, which I'm, well, totally hooked on. But obviously I've got the miniatures, well, I've got a few more to paint, but I need to get some terrain for them to obviously, well, to play the war games and skirmishes on. So I'm going to go through some videos and show you obviously how I'm going to make all the terrain. Today's video is making these roads. So modular roads, make them in short sections so I can just add loads together. Okay, stick around, see how it's done. So I am also making some modular boards for obviously all the terrain to go on. Obviously this isn't quite finished yet because, well, I'm still working on it, but there will be a video out showing when this is completed, yeah, my modular boards. So for the scenery, yeah, printable scenery. This is where I go. They do a ton of awesome stuff. And I've just sort of got their King and Country bundle. And as you can see, yeah, loads of loads of buildings, things from castles, castle walls, to sort of well, absolutely everything you can think of that you'd need. And you can see there's 8 pages worth of bits and pieces. I'll leave links down below. So I say I've signed up. I've got their full range. So what I want to do in this one is the country walls. Yeah, some nice sort of simple looking walls, but a whole variety. So there's some sort of full walls, broken walls, and obviously gated walls. So downloaded them, taken them into, well, my favorite slicing software for the Halo X1. This is this is one of my favorite printers to date, I must admit. Absolutely love the look of it, love the way it works. So yeah, going to print the walls out on this. And as you can see, I can get quite a lot on there. Probably could get more, but yeah, this is probably the amount I need for the few bits of wall sections I'm going to make, obviously, in this video. So as I say, these are going to be printed out on the Halo X1. And again, there will be links down below to where you can find out more information about this lovely, awesome 3D printer. But a few sort of points I will go through. No leveling required. This literally was straight out of the box. It was printing straight away, which is obviously awesome. It's a 16K Ultra HD. It's 15,120 by 6,230 pixels. The build volume, yeah, it's a decent size. It's 211 by 118 by 200 millimeters. It does have high speed printing, up to 170 millimeters an hour. And it's got 92 zone intelligent exposure system for accuracy. And the thing I love about this as well, it's got a quick release plate. You'll see me sort of show you that in quite a few videos because I just love the fact there's no more scraping to get your bits and pieces off. All you got to do is toggle the or twist the release plate, and yeah, the bits fall off, which is just awesome. So again, guys, yeah, links down below. Obviously, I am affiliated with a lot of stuff. Doesn't cost you any extra, but it does mean if you click on my link and then buy something, then I get a few pennies, well, thrown back my way. And obviously, as I do this full time, yeah, every little bit helps, as they say. Okay, so back to the video. So all the wall bits have printed out perfectly and look really good. So you see, I mean, you probably could have a go at making these, obviously, yourself with styrofoam and, well, bits and bobs. But obviously, in this age of 3D printers, yeah, I love 3D printers. So I'm going to 3D print stuff. So all of these, obviously, you could just use them as they are. But say I wanted to put them on sort of bases. But the thing is, though, when you do 3D print stuff, I've found trying to 3D print something thin, flat like this, it doesn't matter what 3D printer I've used or what resin I've used, they warp. So this was done on an FDM printer just because I know it will remain perfectly flat all the time, which is pretty cool. So yeah, all my bits and pieces, yeah, it is simply a case of gluing them on. So I've made 4 of these roads so far. I will be making a lot more, with a lot more sort of different sort of like looks. So some of them might be like a fork, so it goes off and splits into 2 roads. Some might sort of just come to an end. That's the great thing. Obviously, I am trying to make a lot of different kind of bits and pieces to make it all very modular. So I've glued the roads on, but as you'll have seen, there's a little bit of a gap underneath. My plan is when I put these on the board, they sort of merge in with the board. So that's the reason why I am now filling that little gap. So it's only a small gap underneath, but it's enough that it would play on my mind. So yeah, I'm just filling it in with some super glue. Super glue? No, it's not super glue, is it? It's hot glue. What a donut. Yeah, good old hot glue. Pushing this under. So it'll fill in that gap. Obviously, this is all going to be covered in a minute, so you won't sort of see that it is, well, it is glue. So once that's sort of letting that dry, so it dries obviously pretty quick because as soon as it cools down, yeah, it's dry. But yeah, going to merge it in now with some good old sand. Say, guys, when basing material, don't buy the small little boxes because they're like, I don't know, £5, £8, a real small amount of stuff. If you look online for sort of fish tank stuff, so this stone that I've got, or gravel, or whatever it is you're looking for, yeah, get the stuff that's meant for fish tanks because you'll get a huge big bag, like a 5 kilogram bag, for again, it's about £5 to £8, the same sort of price you would pay for well, those small little amounts. And obviously, as well, in my case, I've got a lot of terrain bits I want to sort of make up, paint and print and the rest of it. Yeah, I want it to be relatively cheap when it comes to sort of basing everything, especially as I will be basing everything for this board in the same sort of manner. Just again, so it all sort of like ties in, and when it is all on the board, it all merges and looks like well, like a natural looking sort of scenery, which is gonna be pretty cool. I say I'm super excited. I can't wait to start playing this game. I keep watching other people's sort of playing of the of Baron's Night, Baron's War even, and yeah, it just looks absolutely awesome. So everything's kind of like dried. It's just a case of peeling away. So I always use the greaseproof paper just because, well, things shouldn't stick to it. But as you can see, yeah, it's kind of stuck to it a little bit, but it does sort of peel away in the end. And again, I think I've done a really pretty decent job here of sort of merging it all together. So the underneath is now perfectly nice and flat. So say when it does lay on my table, yeah, you won't see the edges and all the rest of it. So it does sort of like merge into the scenery. To say, yeah, the board again. I have tried 3D printing variety in resin, flat sort of things, and they tend to sort of warp straight away, or if not, at least within like a week, they will warp. But yeah, the FDM is what I've used for that. So obviously, painting wise, yeah, keeping it simple, good old priming in black, dry brushing with white, and then we'll use some speed paints. So for the walls, yeah, rather than just doing one sort of color for the walls, which can look a bit dull, a bit boring, I'm going to use three different colors, or kind of four, I guess, because I do go over at the end with a wash. So as you can see, these are the colors I'm using: Battleship Grey, Ancient Honey, and the Pallid Bone there. And it is a case of going over and just picking out some stones here, there, everywhere. No real sort of set pattern to this. Just pick out some of the other stones and paint them in say the three different colors. So it's just nice, or it breaks it up rather than having something look well all the same. Yeah, this just makes it look a little bit better. Obviously, when you first put them on, they will look very different, obviously from each other. But that's why I like to use a wash over the whole thing at the end, and that just sort of ties it all together. Because otherwise, yeah, they do look a little bit weird with the stones looking well so different. If you're not already subscribed, guys, it'd be great if you could hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, as I do produce at least one, two, sometimes even three videos a week. And it'd be great if, yeah, you guys can come along for the journey. So I know a good amount of you people, I think about 60% or more, aren't subscribed. So yeah, if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be wonderful, and it helps me out so much. So guys, with the game, the Barons War, don't forget that you can get it from War Games Atlantic. They kindly sent me my copy. I do have an affiliate link down below. So if you're interested in playing the game, yeah, click on my link. And again, say it won't cost you anything, but I get a few pennies sort of thrown back my way. And I know I am eager to play this game. So yeah, there will be a few videos out of me showing you obviously the terrain that I'm building and say the modular board. So that board you saw right at the beginning of the video, there's actually going to be 4 of those, and it's going to make up a 4-foot by 3-foot board. So yeah, I'll need to get a whole variety of sort of terrain pieces to go on there. And the board itself is going to be flat. So what I'm going to do is obviously make some raised areas just so there'll be, well, elevation and different sort of heights to the whole thing. So yeah, with this the floor in here, say the colours and paints I use on this, I'm going to be trying to use them throughout all the other bits of terrain, buildings, or whatever it might be. Just again, so when I do have it on the board, it all ties in really nicely. So it'd be great to obviously play it on that kind of board, and it'll also be nice that when I come to sort of take pictures of the miniatures that I'm painting, yeah, they'll have a lovely backdrop on them. So the floor itself, it looked a bit too neat, too clean. and we can't have that. So yeah, good old toothbrush, and we'll do a little bit of splattering on this, just to say to muddy it up, dirty it up. I had thought about sort of 3D printing off some little feet, and then doing loads of little footprints. And then I thought, no, that just looked daft. Would have been fun, but yeah, maybe a bit silly. So with this, to be honest, you can't really even see it too much on the screen. I think sometimes that's good because it means I'm not overdoing it, but there's enough sort of extra dirt texture on the road to make it look like it has been sort of walked on. So yeah, with the road, I wanted to make the pebble stones or the cobblestones even sort of appear more. So I wanted to make the gaps in between look like, well, like a little bit wet, bit muddy. Because as you see that the whole feel for the board that I'm going with, I'm making it look like it's an autumn sort of time of all these battles. So that's why I'm going to have, obviously there's going to be more grass growing. There's going to be leaves on the ground, and yeah, just that autumn sort of feel to it. So yeah, it'll definitely be raining lots then, I guess. Um, so yeah, so this is this is one of those jobs you start doing it and you think, yeah, this all looks well and good, but this is gonna take me ages. But then again, sometimes I kind of like these sort of things. They're very mundane, but I know it's going to sort of add a little bit more to it. So basically, this is obviously just going through these areas are going to look wet and glossy. So it's going to look like there's sort of water in between all the cobblestones. And then in certain other areas on the mud, yeah, I'm just going to make them look like they're sort of wet and damp as well. So when it dries, it should look pretty good. But obviously, I've got 4 boards to do this way. Although, so I've got 4, but I do need to make up more because obviously I want to better make these so they can go right across a 4-foot board. And these are only, I think it's about 200 millimeters each. Well, no, probably less than that, I think. So there you go. Yeah, so it comes out. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. So there's a few areas where it looks like it's a bit glossy. That does look like it's sort of wet mud as opposed to sort of dry mud. But now, obviously, the fun bit. Let's add some grass to this. And yeah, this box. I think I've had this box about 4 years. So this has got 4 different types of grass in it, or flocking. There's a little bits of cork in there, as well as a few stones. And I say this. So this box. So as you can see, I don't do a lot of basing, or I've not in the past. Because seriously, guys, this box I've had for about 4 years. It's crazy how long this thing's lasted. But obviously, that's soon going to go with all the new sort of terrain bits that I'm building. But even obviously some of the buildings, they're going to have the same sort of thing going around the bottom edges of those. I want it to sort of be muddy and then grassy and all the rest. So I did used to have one of those static flockers to make the grass stand on end. I had it. I think I used it twice in the space of a year. Yeah, so I think it's long gone now. So what I do is I just get the grass, the flocking, and just twiddle it between my fingers, and then wherever it lays, it lays. So I try to do it so again, it's not gonna be like fully grassed up. It's just gonna have patches here and there because I do want to still be able to see the sort of the muddy look underneath. And yeah, really pleased with it. Come out say nice and simple. And as you guys know, I like to keep things simple because it's then more fun for me. And obviously, things can be done quicker because we do like speed. Because obviously, well, I want to get on and play this game. And I say because I don't have any of this kind of terrain at all, so I am making everything from sort of I would say scratch, but obviously I'm 3D printing stuff, so it's not fully scratch. But you know what I mean. I'm making tons of stuff just so I can play this awesome kind of game. So yeah, these bits, these little tufts, these are again just something extra to put here and there. They have got sticky backs on them, but yeah, I still like gluing these down because I feel that sticky stuff isn't going to be too sticky, especially when it's not going on like a flat area. It's going on a rough area that might have a bit of grass or bits and pieces on it. So yeah, I like to glue these bits down. But again, just having little tufts like this, they just make things sort of more realistic. So it's worthwhile spending a bit of time doing these extra sort of steps and chucking more bits on. So this does mean no, I am in need of getting more base and stuff because say, well, whenever I do the miniatures, you know, I use clear bases. Although that being said, the miniatures I'm using for the Baron's War, yeah, they are all going to be based in this sort of fashion. Just because, yeah, I want it to look really cool on the battlefield out there. So yeah, there will be some more videos coming up soon of me painting the other miniatures from the Baron's War. So there are some sergeants in there, and there's some peasants with pitchforks, which I think is going to be really cool. I can't see them lasting too long up against some proper knights in full armor, but the joy of the game. And then obviously there are going to be some mounted knights as well, which I can't wait. So there we go. Last little thing to do. Say this is going to be made to look like it's in the autumn, the fall sort of season. So yeah, you can get little leaves in a jar, whatever next. So we're going to put these down here, there, and everywhere. And for gluing this, yeah, I'm just spraying on some PVA glue mixed with water. The ratio, oh, this is where again I don't do a lot of basing, so I think my ratio might be off. I think it's probably about 75% water, about 25% PVA. Let me know, is that the right sort of amount, or have I overdone it with water, or can I put more water in? I really don't know. I do know that when I did this, it worked. And the PVA, obviously, it dries clear, so you can't see anything. So yeah, with the leaves, there's two different leaves here. Again, this is why I like the autumn time. It is one of my favourite seasons because when the leaves drop, obviously there's lots of reds, oranges, and the browns. So yeah, that's kind of why I want my scenery to look, well, like it's in the autumn. So yeah, just spraying everything. I put loads of leaves down, and then I do go over and sort of put some more spray over the top. Again, just to help seal everything. And when it's done, obviously I'll just shake off any excess. Whatever falls off, falls off. Whatever doesn't, it's staying there. And there we go. Some nice, easy looking walls, paths. So nice and flat there. So when these are put together, they look like a nice continuous wall. So I will be making a variety of other sort of types because I do want to have some where they sort of split off and into a fork so you can go left or right, and have some that are maybe blocked off. So like the blockage of stones in the middle. So yeah, the board's coming along nicely. Really chuffed with how this this is coming along. That's why I do need to print out and paint a lot more of these. There'll be a video out of this one coming very soon. And yeah, hail bells. So obviously a lot of this is going to take place in the countryside. So it's going to be a lot of countryside bits and pieces. But I also want to do, well, I'm going to print out the castle as well. Obviously, you got to have a castle. Just again, this game can be played in so many different ways. Obviously, you play sort of one person against another, but I have seen people where they play four people, and you can do either two people against two people, or you can have three people against one person. So I like the idea of the castle, and then having three other people with their retinues, and they got like storm the castle, which would be pretty cool. So guys, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, leave comments down below what you thought in the video, what you might want to see me do in the future, and say, yeah, if you're going to play Baron's War as well, because, well, I am so hooked on this game, it's untrue. Okay, guys, another video on the screen. Give that a click, see more of what I do. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.